Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense, a divorce. As founder of Consolidated Credit, I understand that credit card problems are not about overspending. It's about emergencies and unexpected situations. There's a lot of ways to get into trouble with debt. There's only one trusted way to get out. Consolidated Credit.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
1-800-445-1912.
Serious sports talk. The Serious Fan. We're the Sports Journey Broadcast Network. The following is a special presentation of the Sports Journey Network. Sports Journey.
Welcome everyone, Sports Journey Broadcast Network special presentation. Lake Lewis sitting here at Vintage 50 here in Leesburg, Virginia, and I'm joined by none other than Antwaan Randle, former Washington Redskin, current Pittsburgh Steeler. What's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. What's going on with you, baby?
The lockout, that's what's going on.
That's what's going on for everybody, and that's all everybody is talking about. But, of course, it will be talked about because football is the number one sport
in the world.
And with it being down and potentially not having a season right now, it is the talk of the town and of the world right now.
Well, let's be honest about it, though, Antwaan. You're going to have a season. I mean,
yeah.
Roger Goodell, DeMaurice Smith, those guys would be fools, basically, to not get the number one sport in this country back on. And I mean get it on and underway when training camp's supposed to start in a week.
Right.
I just saw something flash across the TV saying that they're trying to figure something out so that they can get everything going, that maybe the preseason gets pushed back 1 week.
That's the one thing they are trying to work on. But at the same time, just like that gave us a little optimism, but you got to kind of be careful with that because there's always something that's underlining that kind of takes us 2 or 3 steps back. You get one layer of the contract done and you put another layer in, and it affects the above layer. So you gotta kind of just kind of go with it because I remember last time we were kind of going through the not a lockout, but we were coming up close to the deadline, and actually they extended it like 2 or 3 days. This was in 06 or what have you, and when they extended it, they actually got it done. But before that, they was talking about, it's going to be a month, or we won't be able to get it done. And then, boom, it was done. So you never know. That's why some days it looks great, and some days it just, it looks real bad.
I mean, it's lockouts going on everywhere. You have it in the NBA. And now I think they may miss a season.
Yeah, they may miss a season. I mean, definitely half the season, but they may miss a whole season. I talked to one guy in the league, and then he knows a lot of the owners and stuff like that. He was basically saying that you used to have owners that just own teams, and the teams were like their toy. It was like the toy money. It was just they're just their thing to do. They said, but now you have owners where the teams are their baby. That's it. That's all they have. They got a lot in it, and now that they're losing all this money, it's like we got to go back to the table and get this done. So certainly it may not work out as quickly as it's working out for the number one sport in America.
They can write the stuff off. I mean, come on. Business owners. There's business owners in this room right now.
Yes.
When you have tough times, you write it off.
This is true, but those owners feel like they've been writing it off for a long time, for a couple of years to come now. So, I mean, and that's one thing you got to kind of look at. Sometimes you get, some of the young guys coming into the league, getting drafted high. They're getting a lot of money, but then don't pan out. And that's happening not just in football, but in basketball and in some players and some instances in baseball. So you just got to kind of, I don't know, you got to kind of find the equal medium, if you will, to make sure that works out for the player, but also for the teams as well.
Yeah, and if you think of the Redskins and you think of the Steelers, and I always put the Steelers in there, and I use your team now as the blueprint on any owner that's out there that says that I can't compete with the Cowboys, with the Redskins, with the Patriots because I'm in a small market. I always say, look at the Rooneys in Pittsburgh.
There you go.
Winning Super Bowls. Well, you lost the last one.
Hey, I knew that was coming. I knew it.
But you got there, though. You got there.
Yeah,
That's all
I'll tell you
matters.
one thing. You get there and lose. You'd rather not even go.
But you got one before, though.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be greedy, but winning a second one would have been great, man. I mean, come on. You got to think about it. You start the season, back in March.
Right.
March and April, actually working on certain blocking schemes and running certain routes and stuff and getting kind of acclimated, to the system and how you want the season to turn out. So you start laying that foundation back in March and April. So the goal is to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So anything less than that, of course, is not it's failure. I mean, we had opportunity after all the turnovers that we had and miscues on offense and miscues on defense. We still had an opportunity to win the ball game in the fourth quarter and just came up a wee bit short. So.
Well, that's the one game I can say that just seemed like offensively you guys weren't clicking. You guys weren't in sync the whole game.
And from really beginning to end, it seemed like when we did get going, we have a big turnover. And those are, you can't – it's hard to beat a team, and a team of that magnitude, of course, with the Packers and the way they were playing and have those many turnovers. You just can't expect to do it.
Do you see Green Bay? I mean, it's funny because there's some highlights of them on right now.
Yeah.
Do you do you see them as a formidable team that can repeat? I mean, legitimately.
I do, and the reason I say is because of once you get a team who's been there and tasted, they got some young guys, some hungry young guys.
Yeah.
And one thing they have going in their favor is this bit of a lockout we've had. Most of the time you get teams who go to the Super Bowl, go deep in the playoffs or whatever, struggle the next year because typically the other teams are right back working out together as a unit, but they haven't had that. So everybody's basically going to come in. I mean, you got New Orleans and different teams getting together, doing some stuff, but that's nothing compared to what you would normally have in the offseason. Coming together and getting it done. When you go to the Super Bowl, you're going to come in much later than those teams that bowed out in December and just didn't make it, or even went out in early January.
Good point. I never looked at it that way. I mean, because naturally you think that they're still in party mode or they're still reaping the benefits. You know, but yeah, for them to be off too, it's almost like the season never ended.
And see, here's the thing with it is almost if everybody's off, nobody's been in. So now that's been that way, it's like, all right, we can start right where we left off. Everybody's, basically in the same boat. Nobody's been in working, nobody's been fine tuning. You got the same team coming back because you're gonna have some rookies that going to get involved, but they're not going to know the offense or the defense as much as you would normally coming in, getting drafted in April and going right to the facility and starting learning those books. So it's just a matter. We'll have to see how it work out, to be honest with you.
Well, I think there's another favor in a factor in their favor, and the same thing that you have in Pittsburgh. You have a all-world quarterback, and as long as you have a quarterback that's one of the best in the business, you're going to be there at the end. Right. And I think that Aaron Rodgers, maybe at the beginning of the year, people thought that he was going to be, maybe have a breakout year, but I don't think towards the end of the year they were talking about that anymore. They were actually throwing the question, is he one of the best 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL?
And he's shown, in the playoffs, he has some, if he can stay healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean because this whole concussion thing that he's had, it's very severe. You look at, I think Troy Aikman stepped down early because of that same issue. And if he can stay healthy and not have some of these mishaps with these concussions and stuff like that, he's going to have it looks like he'll have a pretty good career. Because he can put that ball and put it on a dime. He threw some passes, and some of my guys on defense was just like, look here, man, this is not, I was right on that ball. Defense, that ball went right by me. But that's part of it. You got a guy like that, certainly you want to just build the guys around it. You always want to make your defense what it needs to be because defense wins championships. That's the bottom line. Everybody knows that. Offense, you selling tickets. Everybody come out to watch the offense, but defense wins championships.
Exactly. Folks, we're sitting here at Vintage 50 here in Leesburg, Virginia. filling in for Chris Wilson is his good friend.
Yeah, that's right. Filling in for my good friend, Chris Dub.
Chris Dub, that's what we call him, C-Dub. Antwaan Randle, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers, they had a lot of young receivers, step up towards the end of last year. I'm sure it's going to be, as always, healthy competition, which you always welcome.
Exactly.
Just talk about that, though, because if you think about some of the other guys, I know Wes Lyons, I actually did a function with him recently.
Right.
6'8" wide receiver. He picked the wrong sport, man. He picked the wrong sport.
Yeah, you get guys like that. I mean, yeah, but yeah. I don't even know how to say it. If I was 6'8", I would not be playing.
Of course.
And if I was playing football, I'd be playing QB.
6'8". That's Ryan Mallett's size. Well, he's taller than that. Ryan Mallett 6'6", I think, from the Patriots.
That's pretty. That's up there. I mean, we've got another big guy. What's the big guy for?
Lima Swede is
Lima Swede is big, but it's the guy for the Titans. What's the tight end? Hope is it?
Yeah.
What's his name? He is huge.
Yeah,
now he
man.
needs to be playing power forward for somebody. I mean, he needs to be playing power forward for somebody, grabbing some rebounds and kicking it out to the point guard.
You played basketball in college just like I did, and to see guys that tall. I mean, let's be honest. They probably weren't any good.
That's probably what it is. Because if they were on top of their game, they would not be
6'8". We'd be having another conversation from somewhere else right now.
Exactly. It'd be like, we're coming up on a lockout too. That's what we'll be talking about with that basketball player who could have went out there and did if they had those skills to do it.
I should have. You know what? I don't know why I didn't think about it. I didn't bring the phone module, but I should have had that set up. We could have called Pat up.
Oh, that would have been good, too.
Yeah, you call him Coach Knight.
No. We ain't call Pat. Pat did not like you calling him Coach.
I know. That's why I said it, yeah. Real down-to-earth guy.
Yeah, real down to earth.
I was disappointed with Texas Tech when they fired him. I thought that was
that just goes back. I believe when you hire a coach, you have to give him time to go ahead and get things in order that he needs to get in.
Sure.
I mean, not just – I don't know exactly how long he was there, but he
was
have
the
to
coach
have time.
for 3 years.
And that's what I'm saying. You haven't even had a chance to see your cream of the crop in terms of guys that you brought in.
Exactly.
The freshmen that you brought in. You have to at least to get to that point and then really build from there. I mean, you can come in and get a crew going, but if they're not you and they're not buying into your style, but the guys that you brought in, you went and sat down in the family, in their family room, trying to recruit them, and they came in. Those are the guys that you're supposed to not necessarily only win with, but it's expected for you to have some success. But he has never reached that point.
But I couldn't believe they did that, considering that they got his father to come there. I mean,
exactly.
You had Coach Knight going now. That's Coach Knight.
That's Coach
There's
Knight.
no Bobby. That's Coach Knight.
Ain't no saying what's up, Bob. If you played for him or if you were on that court,
Trust
you
me,
get that elbow.
I tell people all the time that's the only coach I ever went up against that I was a little intimidated.
Yeah. I mean,
because you could hear. Trust me,
you could hear him, and just as tall as he is, and the walk that he has. He got that walk, kind of like this, and it's like, all right, we coaching and playing against a monster.
They cheated us though. I say that all the time. Indiana. 97, they stole one. Yeah. So, but anyway.
Penn State ain't really been no basketball.
Yeah, we made the tournament this year.
Y'all did. Y'all had
did you make the tournament?
Guard. That one guard.
Did y'all make the tournament?
That one guard for Penn State can shoot pretty good.
Taylor Battle.
Pretty
he
good.
Was nice.
But just give us. We coming back. Give us a little chance. We coming back.
I think it was Tom Crean. I think that you guys have.
And the man got some energy.
Yeah, he does.
I had a chance to meet him.
He's a recruiter.
Yeah, he is. Man, he got some energy. He got some fire, and I think that's one thing that you need that as a coach. And he brings that, man. He brings that energy, that fire that, players need that. Sometimes you get in that little low or whatever, and you got a coach that's going to put his foot down and get in your ear and encourage you, but, yell at you and, tell you what you need to do, but at the same time encourage you in the way that he does, man. He certainly brings out the best in his players the way I've seen so far.
Let's be honest, though, Antwaan. I mean, to have Indiana down is not good. It's just like – I mean, say what you want, because I know you probably have to pinch both of us to feel any sympathy for Ohio State. But at the end of the day, we're Big Teners.
Exactly.
To see that football program possibly, I don't think they're going to slip at all, but to possibly have that happen.
Right.
And having Nebraska come in, we need some representation.
Dun, 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 dun.
We need some serious representation.
We really do. They I don't know.
That's ugly.
But Okay, here's the deal, though. And I'm not promoting the young college players to go out and sell your jersey and make your money, but it has to be something done.
What's wrong with it?
I mean, here's the deal. You got some guys coming from nothing, just period. But
Nothing.
They have some talent. They had the grades to get in, or they had to go to a Fork Union, or had to go to a JUCO or whatever. Play a year, then come on to the college. Okay, now they made it to the college. Now here it is. They know that team is thriving because of them.
Absolutely.
Playing well because of them, bringing in so much revenue.
The building that they have in class in.
Wait a minute. See, that's what I'm saying.
Come on
and
now.
Then I give you an example. I always tell this story. Me and my brother were in Indiana. My older brother, Curtis, went to school with me. We're going into foot action or something like that to buy some shoes. We know we're going to be short. We're going to see if we can get a discount deal. We in college. We college boys playing ball. So we go in there. In the meantime, while we're in there trying to get some shoes, we see about 10 to 15 jerseys walk out. My jersey, buying my jersey and buying his jersey walk out. We don't see any of that.
No.
And everybody try to compare it to, okay.
Not even a penny.
People try to compare it.
But you get your room and board.
You get your room and board. You get your tuition.
No.
Yeah, I got my tuition because you want me to come play football.
Exactly.
I mean, you wasn't going to give it to me no other way, no other reason.
And the $10, $15 you giving me on a road trip to eat.
That ain't.
Come
that's
on.
Not even. That's not even giving it. Now the whole scholarship checks to pay your rent and that kind of thing. You got to have a job, and that's why you get a job in the summer and that kind of thing. But during
you can't work during the year.
That's right.
Oh,
you can't bring in no revenue during the year.
That's how I learned how to cut hair. That's probably why I don't have any because I messed mine up.
But that's a tough deal for the college students. Something's got to be done at some point. But it is what it is. They need to abide by the rules. It's hard, but they got to do it right now. It may catch up with them, and they may have an opportunity to reap some of the benefits that's going on, but it doesn't look like it right now.
See, I say this too. As far as like a playoff system, that could help some student athletes financially.
Yeah.
Because we're all seeing what a lockout with the NFL's doing.
Right.
But can you imagine if now you add, a series of bowl games? I'm not saying create any more bowl games. Keep the current bowl games, make the Big Four, the BCS bowls, make them part of a playoff tree.
Yeah.
And if you have a true national championship from a tournament, I seriously say this. It may not rival the Super Bowl, but it would not be that far away.
Well, I agree and disagree in a way. I agree that it would be a big stage, a big change, a venue for them to do that in the way they do in terms of the playoff system. But it's not going to touch the Super Bowl.
Well, no, I'm not saying it. But what about the college Final Four, basketball? You don't think it would be on par with that? I think it could be better than that.
In terms of you talking in terms of the football being
because
better
it's
than
football.
I think it. Again, you doing that, having that playoff system. I think it would go far beyond. It's just, it's no comparison to that. I've been there.
I was going to say that's the difference. See, a lot of guys who sit on this set. No offense, Chris. I mean, but he got a great cup. He got a great cup.
He does have a great cup.
But
that's
no,
right.
a lot of guys, and I can say this. You actually, I think today on Sports Journey, I think even going back to ESPN Radio, I think this may be a first for me.
What?
To actually have a Super Bowl winner.
Oh wow! Yeah.
On the set.
Well, that's a blessing, brother.
Well, I'm
on the set.
Of course. But I mean, I've had guys that got to the Super Bowl,
right,
like last year, but you had something before that.
He just keep bringing it up.
I've had people get to the conference championships,
right,
win a division title, but no one had ever actually pulled out the Super Bowl trophy. So
yeah, I should have worn my ring.
I was gonna say, man, you should have
worn my ring. I wasn't even thinking.
But that's all right.
But that's all right. We're going to get together again. I'll bring out the hardware.
Absolutely. Now let me ask you, because I'm sure a lot of people in that chat box, and we will get to that.
Right.
Antwan's logged in there, so if you have some questions, please fire away. We're sitting here at Vintage 50 in Leesburg, Virginia. Myself, Lake Lewis, as well as Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver and former Washington Redskin, Antwaan Randle L. We're also going to have a chance for someone here tonight, lucky winner, to win a autographed football. So just stick around as we go through tonight's show. A little bit later on, we're going to be bringing in Jarman Gant from the Sideline Haters. He's got a really great sports talk show that you'll be able to hear soon here on the Sports Journey Broadcast Network. And remember, coming up after this show, live from Los Angeles, California, is none other than Jeff Little in the Locker Room.
Okay.
That's a good show. Jeff is like He's West Coast.
Oh, is it? Okay, I got you.
Laid back West Coast. So,
I got you.
Yeah, but he'll be coming on a little bit later on. One of the questions that I'm sure a lot of people would be upset if I didn't ask. You were here.
Right.
And you weren't here under Shanahan, though.
Right, exactly.
You were here under Joe Gibbs.
Yep.
Jim Zorn.
Right.
The question that I have is, what do you see as far as a similarity between Coach Gibbs and what you have in Pittsburgh as far as an organization up there?
I think when I always tell this, give the analogies, Coach Gibbs was running the show, and that was it. It was hands down Coach Gibbs running the show. Let me do it. And the similarities you get is one of, I want to say poise, and understanding what it takes. He's been there. He's won. And knowing that you got to turn over every stone to make sure you've covered everything that you need to cover. And that's not just on the field, but that's off the field, in the classroom, of course, and, of course, even with the people you bring on staff.
Right.
And you get the same thing in Pittsburgh. I think Mike Tomlin has grasped that, and even when Bill Cowher was there, it was like you either with me or you're not. It's like black and white. You either on board or you're not on board. And then the people he brought on just, they got attached on and they say, I'm in for the long haul. And then that's the same way with the players. You don't bring in players that you don't think have not just can, give you what you need on the field.
Right.
But off the field, they're going to make sure they try to keep things on the low to make sure it's not affecting my teammates. It's not affecting our progress as a team. So and that's one of the differences. I think Coach Gibbs did it and did a great job with it. I wish he'd have played. I wish he'd stayed a couple more years.
Yeah, because you guys were on the verge of really
he
legitimate playoff contenders.
Yes, indeed. He had us going in the right direction. And I just, man, if he had another 2 years in him, we really had a chance.
A lot of people say that,
And that was the difference when Zorn came. When Zorn came in, it was like Zorn. It wasn't just Zorn's. It wasn't his deal.
And he had to learn everything.
Let's
face it, he'd never been a coordinator before.
Yep. And then he went from there right to head coach. And
but in fairness to that, come on, let's be up front here. He was offered the offensive coordinator job,
right?
And then they turned around and said, "Actually, we want to give you the head coach job."
No
person turns that job down.
No, you can't. You got to do that. You go into that full speed.
Exactly. You don't.
I'm gonna make the best of it.
You don't know if you're gonna get a shot.
Exactly.
And to be honest with you, I had a chance to talk with him last year in Baltimore out at the Ravens training camp. That's a class act, man. That's a good man.
He is.
And the way things were handled, like I said, I'm part of the media here.
Right. I hear you.
It was it wasn't right.
Right. It just wasn't. I just remember us coming home from the game and he wasn't even allowed back in the building. That was one of the tough things.
Whoa, time out.
That was one of the tough things.
At Redskins Park.
When we came back, he was not allowed back in the building. He was escorted. Make that little left, make another left, go right out the gates. That was it.
There's a thing called decency.
And it was bad, man. It was like, wow. So it was like, all right, let's try to hit him on the cell phone and say goodbye.
He should have at least had a chance to tell his guys.
That was a tough deal, man. That was tough.
You've seen it all when you were here.
Huh?
You saw it all when you were here.
I saw it all. I saw it all. But it's just the way it was, man. It was a tough deal. But I tell you what, and I always say this about because I know most of the players that are on the team. I know if they can get through a year without drama.
But see,
and I'm not talking about drama, just little drama here. It's always over the top drama.
Yes.
That takes away from you as a team. If they can get that under control, they got a chance.
See, we thought, and I can say Diane and myself
really got a chance.
Diane Cheeseboro's right here. Myself, being credential media out there in training camp, you had this vibe of this thing's going to go well. Albert will come back. He'll be part of the team.
Right. Optimistic. Yeah.
And then when it just started dragging itself out, it was my first year here, and I'm thinking, my goodness.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And then somebody told me, I won't mention a fellow media person. He said, "Oh, you better get used to this."
See, that's what I'm saying. See, it's like it's not supposed to be that way.
And he told me, he said, "You better get used to this." So that's one of the questions I wanted to find out, because naturally, I've always said this. For my money, and I say this on my daily show, the blueprint on how you do something properly in the NFL, I think it's Pittsburgh Steelers. I truly feel like that. Some people may argue the New England Patriots or the Indianapolis Colts, but I just think it's the Steelers, because the one thing that's different is that if you look at New England and you look at Indianapolis, the mainstay has always been their quarterback.
Right.
Roethlisberger wasn't always here. Wasn't always in Pittsburgh.
Right.
But there's always guys being plugged in holes. I mean, I asked somebody the other day to repeat or just, tell me the 4 starting linebackers in your 3-4 in this year's Super Bowl, and the majority of the people could not do that. Lawrence Timmons is where people get lost. I mean, everyone knows Lamar Woodley, but they forget. And that's my point. You technically are getting to the Super Bowl and winning Super Bowls with guys that haven't even had quote-unquote breakthroughs yet. Right,
yeah. And see, that's one thing you kind of – they do a great job with drafting and bringing guys in. I mean, man, I don't know. And I think it just comes down to the whole motto or the whole focus that no one guy is above. You
really feel that there.
Yeah. And that's what you get.
So, like Polamalu, you don't feel like –
And not only you're not going to get that from the organization, but you're not going to get that from Troy. Troy's not – that's not his deal. I mean, he's going to show up just like everybody else supposed to show up and play just like everybody's supposed to play. If he can go, he can go. I mean, he had the little Achilles thing going on last year. He was hurting, but he was going. He was legitimately.
He should not have played in the Super Bowl.
He was intercepting the ball and still – but shouldn't have been – right, shouldn't have been out there. But that's that's what you get. And now it's like everybody else realizes, I got to carry my weight. I got to carry my weight. And then no matter how big I get in terms of making plays and that kind of thing, it's a team winning. It's a team doing this. Well, and when you get that down as a team, things become easier.
See, I can say, just having been out there and knowing most of the guys, I mean, pretty much all of them, I can say 90% that this team is on the same page. 90%. There's 10%.
Yeah.
And all I have to say is you can look at the salaries. That's all I have to say.
Sometimes
the salaries will tell you who walks to their own beat. But that's been enabled by Dan Snyder. And I think with Shanahan being here, and you're probably the first person this summer I can say this to, and you can give me an honest opinion without repercussion. What do you see? I mean, you still make this your one of your off-season places, residence. You filling in for a good friend, Chris Wilson. Normally it's Chris Wilson showing myself on Mondays here from Vintage 50. What do you see as far as the Redskins now?
Well, I
from
think,
afar.
From afar, I mean, I still go back to the guys. Like I said, I know the guys that are here. Some of the core guys, and it's always a few. And most teams, you have. And I want to single the Redskins out, but most teams have 4 or 5 guys that I just look. If we make it, we make it.
Right.
And that tears down everything, because now it's like, where am I as a it's supposed to be a team. You got to get involved and be do what a team is doing.
Exactly.
But when you got 4 or 5 guys like that, and I couldn't name you the 4 or 5 guys. I couldn't name you the 4 or 5 guys in the Skins locker room now. But at the same time, we know those guys are there. Some guys are there, some guys in locker rooms across the league. But if they get that going, I'm telling you, because they have a nucleus, they have a core of guys that are just hungry, know what it means to win, have won.
Those guys won't be there long.
Huh?
They're not going to be there long.
Because, you're exactly right.
Because they've singled themselves out.
And see, Bruce, that's another thing. Shanahan ain't going to stand for it.
And Bruce ain't
going to stand for it. And that's what I'm saying. That was the difference. Now, I go back to that was the difference when Coach Gibbs was there. You just didn't cross the line with Coach Gibbs, period. So that's why we were on the verge of really taking off.
But he respected you as a man, though, the way you didn't want to have to cross that line, too.
Exactly. And Coach Gibbs really didn't have a bunch of rules.
He expected professionalism.
He did, exactly. But it was just – some coaches just have that aura about them that you need to fall in line.
And you feel like that in Pittsburgh with Coach Tomlin?
Yes, indeed.
Wow, that's
I'm not even gonna sugarcoat. And he's so down to earth. I mean, this guy comes and sit down and have lunch with us in the lunchroom. We stay late. We eat dinner with us.
Listen to the same music, and
he's the guy. He's like, it's hard to explain, but he's that dude, as they say.
He's that dude. I just find I find that to be very refreshing, because he's a young coach.
He's a young coach, and he stays humble. He's not over the top. I got it, and he stays humble, and he And if you ain't playing well, he's gonna tell you. And he's gonna tell you. He's gonna tell you in a way that you understand. He's gonna tell you the way that you understand. Look here, you need to pick it up. We're gonna have to go in a different direction. And he'll do it. But that's what you need. You want somebody, but at the same time, turn right around and encourage you. Look, you can do this. That type thing. That's the coach you want, kind of in your backyard. Not always trying to cut your throat or anything like that, but just have that it or that aura about him that makes you want to go out and play for him. Well, a lot of guys run through a wall for him.
Well, I think that's obvious. I mean, you look at the fact that he's been in 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he is.
That's unbelievable.
Right, and then you got to think,
in
man,
5 years,
guys. He comes off the field. Mm-hmm. He comes off the field. I mean, we come off the field, and you can coach his high five and doing that type thing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He high five, and it's just a difference, man. I can't even explain it. He got that. He had a little something going on about him.
Well, actually, it's 2 Super Bowls.
Yes, 2 Super Bowls
in 3 years.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. And then that 1 year, they limped into the playoffs.
Yeah,
and they really had an opportunity, but he had some injuries in there, or whatever. But still getting to the playoffs and still having the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm gonna throw another question out, and I'll let you think about. You don't have to answer it now. And folks, it's super nasty weather coming through. Not here in Vintage 50, but on the outside. But one of the questions that I've always wanted to know was that Bill Belichick has how many Super Bowls? 3.
3.
If Mike Tomlin were to have won last year, okay,
and then been on the verge,
been on the verge, because it's the same question people threw out with Tom Brady. If he won that Super Bowl against the Giants, he would have had 4. So that would have been putting him in the Montana category, which no way. But anyway, because he's not better than Peyton. Sorry, but anyway,
if Peyton got something going on.
Yeah, but if Tomlin, he's young. If he were to have won last year. I know these are hypotheticals, but I'm asking because he's your coach. Could you have seen him be legitimately put in that category as the best coach in the NFL? Because he is managing a storied franchise.
He would have to be, and the reason you say Belichick has 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Belichick has been to 4. Now,
and Belichick's been coaching for 20.
Right, that's my deal.
Right,
that's what I'm thinking about. No coaches can only be in those categories if they've won those Super Bowls. You can't compare them any other way. I mean, you got a lot of coaches who've coached for so long, have done so great, but have not won the Super Bowl. And it's like they're good, but
they haven't won.
It's
like the LeBron category. Great player.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Dan Marino, great. He's a wonderful quarterback. Love him, but he
doesn't have one.
And what do you say? I mean, you can't say it was just – it wasn't just – he just wasn't doing good on offense. He got all the stats that you could have. It wasn't that, but it comes down to that –
It was something missing.
It was something – you don't –
Jim Kelly.
You can't – right. And do you point the finger at them and say, oh, it wasn't them, it was the defense, and they still on the top? Yeah, they won the top, but they don't have the ring. And then you got to look at some of the teams. You look at Brady. Brady only 1 year – and that's the year that they lost. And I'm not saying the other receivers weren't good. He had Randy Moss. Other years, he didn't have receivers that were considered the top receivers in the league.
I've said that. I've argued
with
people for a long time.
You look at David Patton, a close friend of mine.
Yeah.
He was a ball player.
Right.
Made plays, but Brady spit that ball around to everybody. What was the other one? Troy.
Troy Brown.
Mm-hmm. Playmakers can go out and play and get it done, but it wasn't as if he had some of the guys that some of the teams have that were just top of the league.
When did Tom Brady have his best year ever?
It was with Randy.
Yep, that's what I tell people all the time. So there's no coincidence there.
Right, exactly.
So,
and then see, buddy, it's hard to put anybody in a category with another guy who's won a Super Bowl, and to a guy who hasn't. It's hard to.
I agree.
If the numbers are anywhere close and one guy has won the Super Bowl, you got to get a guy who has got to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl.
I agree. Because they've been there, they started, and they finished. Exactly. Do me a favor before we take a quick break here. What do we have going on in the chat box there, if you don't mind reading some of the questions? So, folks, if you're in there right now, go ahead and fire them up. Ask Antwaan Randle, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, former Washington Redskin, any questions, and he can get those to you. Okay, here we go. Let me see to put this thing down here. Be patient with me. That's my first time looking at the chat. I'm looking at the chat. We're going to ask the questions. One of the questions,
Matt, football is about systems. Just ask Matt. Okay, this question, I don't know if it's a question or a statement. Looks like a statement. It says football is about systems. Just ask Matt Castle.
Wow. Well,
in terms of him leaving
New England
and being in that system and coming to Kansas City.
But
Matt Castle is going into what, his third year there?
Yeah, but they had the number one rushing attack in the NFL last year.
Okay.
So maybe the statement's true then about systems. They don't need him to throw the football.
Right.
They made the playoffs last year.
They did make the playoffs. So I'm still going. Okay. Give him. He's going his third season. You have to make that analogy after 3 or 4 seasons. You're not going to leave one program and just go tear it up in another program until you got that program down, much like you had the other program down.
Right.
He was sitting behind Brady for a long time.
I agree.
And whoever else for a long. I mean, when he came in, knew the system. You got to remember, as a backup, you get an opportunity to see play after play.
Yeah.
I mean, watching Tom what he does, and you're ready to go at any moment, but at the same time, you're not out there. But you get a chance to see. But now when you take over a different system, it's going to take you some time to really get to where you want to be. And he's got some guys that can make some plays around him. Like you said, he's got the number one running rush offense in the league last year. Helped him out. Now let's see what they can do in the passing and going into the third year.
Well, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I said this on my show years ago. Never forget on ESPN Radio, I said that if I were the New England Patriots, I'd keep Castle and trade Brady. Shows you how much I know. And I said that just because I thought that Brady, with the knee injury, he could come back and be a sitting duck. That may not be a good thing. Castle showed that he could be mobile. And they were 11-5 that one year he got in there. And he was coming into camp as a 4th-string guy. Ended up being 11-5. So,
and that's and you got to give him some credit for what he's done. I mean, but watch
systems.
And I would say third year, you can't even count this year because nothing's been going on in the offseason. It's like he had an opportunity to get with his guys.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that one. Now we got one at the bottom. This is Brian ain't lying.
Brian Langdon, what's up, man? How you doing?
Antwaan, why does the Redskins have so many? I guess this will be so many wide receiver issues over the past few years. I don't know what they've had. Okay, got a little thunder and lightning out there. Everybody still there?
That's cool. We're straight.
Are we still here?
We will never go off.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
you might hit some fireworks. I tell you what, though, let's take a break.
Let's get off this headset. We'll come back to you. Brian ain't lying when you get a second.
We're not lying to you, Brian. We'll be back. Hang tight.
Car owners, does your vehicle have less than 120,000 miles on it? Is it less than 10 years old? Is your current auto warranty about to expire? Well, Cover America Auto Care has a very special offer just for you. With current economic conditions causing bankruptcies and a downturn in new car sales, Cover America Auto Care now offers inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage direct to the public. You can save thousands of dollars on auto repairs. A toll-free line has been made available so car owners can call and get a free no-obligation quote. This auto protection is backed by an A-rated insurance carrier. Plus, you get a claims department that has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. 24-hour emergency roadside assistance is also included. You will be amazed at how much you can save on future car repair bills. So call for your free, no-obligation quote now. Do not wait. Get covered today and rest easy tonight.
Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense, a divorce, a business loss, or even helping a family member or friend in need. As founder of Consolidated Credit, I understand that credit card problems are not about overspending. It's about emergencies and unexpected situations. For nearly 2 decades, Consolidated Credit has helped over 5 million people, just like you. The options for getting out of debt have never been better. We can reduce your interest rates and cut your payments up to 50%. The time to call Consolidated Credit is now. There's a lot of ways to get into trouble with debt. There's only one trusted way to get out. Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, we're the solution.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Call 1-800-445-1912. That's 1-800-445-1912.
Imagine with a simple push of a button, you could be on your way to getting firm, sculpted abs and a sexy waistline with the Contour Core Sculpting System. It's the breakthrough technology that requires no machines, no getting on the floor, no stress, and no strain.
Contour.
The Contour is the real deal.
The secret is Contour's exclusive auto-active muscle toning technology, the digital breakthrough that automatically targets all your abdominal muscles, including your upper abs, lower abs, obliques, and even that stubborn lower belly. Thermographic testing proves Contour activates your entire core. The Contour Core Sculpting System comes with a one-size-fits-all Contour Core Belt, electronic controller with custom digital settings, batteries, and a 1-year warranty, plus an instructional guide and sensible eating plan. And it's all yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95. There's never been an easier, more effective way to get great-looking abs. So call and order right now.
Have you ever had an idea for an invention or new product? Bill Schaefer, one of the inventors of Whammo's new Splash Wash, did. He came up with the idea while watching his children play one hot summer afternoon. Bill invented a car wash for kids. Ride through it, run through it. InventHelp submitted the Splash Wash to Whammo, the makers of childhood favorites like the Frisbee, hula hoop, and slip and slide. If you have an invention you would like to try to patent and submit to corporations and want free information that explains how InventHelp may be able to assist you, call now. InventHelp is America's largest invention company with sales offices in over 50 cities nationwide. Call InventHelp today for free information. Bill Schaefer made a financial gain on the Splash Wash. However, most inventions are not successful, and Bill's experience is not typical of what inventors can expect.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-619-2363. That's 1-800-619-2363.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis, and Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Antwaan Randle. For everyone in the chat box and everyone watching right now from sportsjourney.com, we had to get some things straight because we had a really nasty, super nasty.
It was nasty. It's not as unnasty.
It's okay. It's not that bad.
It's not as bad as it was, but yeah, it's all right.
We heard a little bit of popping in the ears, though, for a quick second.
Yeah, I say we need to go and get offline and make sure we're all good.
we didn't want people in the video to get a chance to see that. That would not have been good. Not at all.
Exactly.
So, lots of stuff we're talking about. Coming up a little bit later on tonight, we're going to bring in Mr. Jarman Gant from the Sideline Haters. He's one of the new acquisitions here on Sports Journey Broadcast Network. So we're excited to have him sit on set with us, with Antwaan and myself. So what do you think so far? As far as being on? Yeah.
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, yeah, I can't say enough about just the presentation as I came and met you and met your staff and that kind of thing, and actually being here at Vintage 50 got a good spot to have your show. I think it's good, and so far it's been good. It's been presented well.
I appreciate that. It's a lot of work that goes behind this.
I can imagine.
And you know, everyone always says, Lake, you know, you guys are doing something, but I always like to say, you know, you got to give Monica Lewis, that's my wife, by the way.
Yeah.
You got to give her some credit because she's always, you know, supportive, and she does a lot with this business. She's the other half of it.
Right, and you have to do that. I mean, if that's your wife. you better give her the credit.
Exactly.
Happy wife, happy life. You do got to go home, put your head on the pillow right next to her.
Exactly. And you know, also, you know, want to say thanks to Diane Cheesebro. She's here right now. She does a great job as well. Yep. She's one of the media members with myself out of Redskins Park. So, you know, and then of course Jarman. He comes out. You know, you'll hear his show Saturdays, but he comes over from Landover, Maryland.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hope you come in when that traffic ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's a hike.
hike.
Yeah, that's a tremendous hike. So
that is unbelievable, man. Yeah, kudos to you, brother. I got to give your props on that. That's a ride. That is a journey. That is you're going on a journey to come to the journey. Because that is a journey. My goodness.
Yeah. We also have to say, you know, give a shout out to Amy here. You know, she's She's really been running things today over here at Vintage 50, so she's doing a great job. And then our guy June over there.
Yeah, June been supporting. He been doing it all. I got to make sure we take care of June later on.
Yeah, June's been running around ever since I came in here. He had to get the equipment, the tables, everything.
And then he been helping out my family. I got 7 of my own, of course, and then not to mention I got my niece in town too. So we just loaded. June been doing all he can, so it's good. It's good.
So you had to come in separate vehicles.
Yeah, I came in separate vehicles. I came in my little T-Rex. Anybody want to know what a T-Rex is, you can YouTube it. You can check it out. T-Rex is off the chain, and but it's not good in the rain, and we just got some rain.
Yeah, so you hanging out by default now.
I'm hanging out by default.
One of the things that we've never done, and if Amy is comfortable with this, maybe we could have her come on for a few minutes. She gave me that look. She gave me that look. No. But I want to get someone from Vintage 50 to come on and just, let us know some of the other things that they have going on here, because this is a really nice facility. We're over here in the bar area. It's more of a lounge area. But they have another section where it's a little bit more intimate, if you want to call it that.
Right. I actually had a chance to go back there a couple seconds ago to I always like fill out a place and see where I'm at. I just thought this was a big building. I never knew it was a nice restaurant.
Big office building.
Yeah, and that's a nice restaurant that's in here. So I had an opportunity to go back and see, the intimate setting, or the more family-oriented area in the back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. So this is the part of the show, as we say. First out a little serious. You talk to the stuff that people want to hear. Get the athlete's opinion, get the media's opinion. But we like to have fun in the second hour. We like to do different things. And one of the things that, I mentioned earlier, we didn't go in depth about it. But I do want to get your thoughts, because obviously me playing basketball in the Big Ten, you playing football in the Big Ten. I want to get your real assessment of Nebraska joining the Big Ten.
My real assessment of Nebraska joining the Big Ten, I really welcome it. Mm-hmm. And I welcome it if they were the Tom Osborne Nebraska. Reason being, I don't even know if their offense still is. I would like that power football.
Really?
That's what I.
It's not the same. This is well, don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. You got a couple teams, Northwestern, that doing some of the open, throwing the ball a little more.
Well, we run the spread at Penn State.
Right? Yeah.
You run it in Indiana.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So it's bringing some of the meat and potatoes of what it used to be in the conference, in terms of running that ball down your throat. And that
but
really.
Can you imagine what it would have been like when we were in the 90s?
Oh, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been as good then.
It would have been physical football. That's what it would have been.
Yeah, nobody would get hurt. Because it was brutal. That was, you would run, play action pass. It was getting it done back then.
It's your fault. No. Come on. Let's be honest. It's Antwaan Randle L's fault that all the schools in the Big Ten have gone to that spread. It's your fault, single-handedly your fault. And Cam Cameron too.
We had to do with what we had, man. When we were in offense, man, I think we were in the top 5 or top 10 every year in offense. So, you can fault us if you want.
But you had 2,000 in the air, 1,000 on the ground. That's just
what you gonna do. How you gonna defend it? And it's hard to defend.
It is hard to defend.
If you got somebody that can really, really do it. And that's what a lot of the leagues are doing. That you think about. Even Maryland getting a new coach
Randy Edson,
leaving from Connecticut. Mm-hmm. You would think they're gonna come out and do the same thing they did to Connecticut. They ran the ball pretty good, but you never know.
Not in the ACC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to think there's gonna be some changes going on there. So that's it's not I wouldn't say it's not the way to go, but this is one of the ways that everybody is turning around. But if you can run that football, you can do a whole lot.
Oh, come on, listen.
If you can
all
run
you have
the football,
to do is look at your team. The blueprint is play defense, run the football, and get some plays on special teams, and not turn the ball over.
And when you need to, you need to open it up and throw it. We got to the point last year we went 5 wides a bunch of times and was very successful and did it. Some of it in the playoffs.
400-yard passing game, Roethlisberger had.
That's right, and we did it in the playoffs also against the Jets. And when you're able to do those, you go from one dimension. You can put 2 tight ends in the game and 1 wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Leave from that and go to 5 wides. That defense has to work on all that in practice.
Well, I got some ammo with you here, too, because a good friend of mine plays for the Jets, Kyle Wilson.
Okay.
We do a show with him up there in New York. So I'm
up there. We do it up there.
Yeah, up there. So I'll have some ammo now. You didn't match up against him at all, did you?
No, I don't know if I did, but I won. I won.
Did you match up against Revis?
Yeah, I matched up against Revis.
What's that like?
He can cover.
Oh yeah, he's
physical.
I
ain't gonna cheat you. He can cover, but he'll pull your jersey every once in a while. I mean, we was like, come on with the hankies. I mean, and Clammarty, he can cover too, but he'll pull your jersey too. And I ain't knocking the guys. They both good cover corners or whatever. They certainly went top in the league, of course. Especially Revis, his start and stop.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Start and stop, and then being able to move his hips like he does, flip his hips around. You're not getting that with all your corners. And with him doing that and the way he's doing it, and then you tack on the speed, he's top in the league. But still, you pull a little jersey every once in a while.
So you're not implying that they cheat?
No, I'm not implying that they cheat.
They just get away with
stuff.
They
just get away with
If you get away with it, it's not cheating.
There you go. If you don't see that, if you get away with it, on the field we're talking, it ain't cheating. It is what it is.
I'll make it a point to watch closely this year.
There you go.
Because that's the other thing. There's absolutely, unequivocally no way that there would be a lockout there where the NFL would miss the first 2 games of the year, which happen to be your Pittsburgh Steelers against the New York Jets and the Redskins against the Giants.
They're not going to do it.
All about 9/11.
You're not going to miss that. That's not going to happen. I mean, yeah.
That would be a death blow for the NFL.
The owners would cave in, so to speak, if it came down to that.
They're already caving in. I know you didn't want to say that, but
it's getting close.
They're all right. I saw the thing scroll across. Deal could be done. Owners would say that you'd miss the first preseason game, but all the teams would report to camp on time.
And that's I'll be honest with you. That's a bit optimistic. I will say that. That's a bit optimistic.
If it's coming from the owners, that's done.
All right.
You think about
again, because there's so much to do. It's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of this contract that has to get done. I mean, and granted, it gets done. That's going to be great. Don't get me wrong. But it's still hard to see. Knowing what I know, 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 it's hard to see that it's going to get done as soon as we think it's going to get
You're
done.
You're going to miss it. There's absolutely no way that they're going to be able. I mean, the Hall of Fame game would be next weekend. Not this weekend. No.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Right.
There's no way. You can't put a product on the field. Guys aren't in shape. I mean, and I understand people have been working out on their own. That's not football.
It's not even the in shape part of it.
Insurance.
I mean, you got guys. You got some guys who don't know that. I mean, when you don't know a playbook, you can get somebody literally. You can get somebody killed. That left tackle turn and block the wrong person, and that end come running off that edge. That right defensive end can run off the edge and tattoo that quarterback. It ain't.
And especially if some teams the guy that's supposed to be playing left tackle is a rookie. He hasn't even seen the playbook yet.
Yeah. You need some time. I mean, so. You gonna see some people stumble out the gate. That's for sure.
See, that's not good for the league, and they were trying to get 2 more games out of you.
That just wasn't gonna happen.
That's ludicrous.
The 18-game season. Here's the deal: you have owners who, now that we've brought it up and put it to the forefront about the concussions and all that, because you had a lot of doctors just looking at it like, it's okay to let them go out there and play.
Right.
You're gonna take the stand that, okay, we're looking into concussions, and we know these concussions happen, and we're really worried about player safety.
But you're
going to add 2 games.
And also decrease your salaries.
Well, it's going to decrease. You're going to add, and then you got to think about, now you get, most time you're vested is 3 years and 3 games or something like that.
Sure.
So now you got to play 2, 4, 6. You're playing 6 more games that you got to get through to meet that. Give you a prime example. This past year, we had 28 weeks of football. 27 weeks of football.
You mean because you went to the Super Bowl?
Went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Now, granted, you only got 2 teams who do that. Well, but you got another 2 teams who went, or 4 teams went 24 or 25 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of football.
That's
How many
a
weeks
lot
in
of
a year?
football.
52?
That's a lot.
52 weeks in a year?
Mm-hmm.
And people, this is not your normal get up, go to your desk job or get up to your regular job. This is, you could get knocked out.
Well.
And wait a minute. And I hate to just say it like that. It's hard to play at that level for that long, man. And the significance
to
of
bring
injuries,
your A game every game.
ACLs, you look at the turf. I mean, I give you a analysis. You have more ACLs, more high ankle sprains on the artificial turf that you have now. It's better than the regular artificial turf, but the stuff with the rubber that's on it, it's better than the old artificial turf. You know, all artificial turf is at the vet.
It's not concrete.
Right.
But
those
it's rubber
still,
pellets.
It's still the percentages are still way up at ACLs and high ankle
I hate that
sprains.
stuff. I hate those pellets. I can't even stand on the field. You know, we stand on it when you go leave to get back in your car. It's all up your leg.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All the time. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just.
But you said 26 weeks.
27.
27. I got to correct you on that.
That's what the bye weeks in there.
But no, I'm going to correct you.
Keep going.
It's more than that. You know why? Because you have OTAs, which are not.
See, we were talking about season.
Oh, yeah.
You said we were talking about 18-game season. Okay. That's all we talk about. We talk about season. Mm-hmm. And that's what your season starting training camp, going through the 4 preseason games. Mm-hmm. If you're the 2 teams got to play in a Hall of Fame game. You talk about 5 preseason games.
Oh, my God.
You talk about July to February,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and you want to add 2 more games. Come on. That don't even.
And expect you after that, after the Pro Bowl, to be, bam, right there the next week. Come on back out for OTAs.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. You can't expect that. That's just not. That's not.
This is going to go back. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that this is going to go back to the way it used to be, where. And I'm not sure if you came in 10-year vet, if you came in and
used to be when you mean like you play during the season and go get a job in all season.
No, I'm not saying
way back,
that.
not that far. Okay, all right.
No. What I'm saying is, after the season,
right?
After the Pro Bowl, there was the draft, and then there was a quarterbacks camp. They always had like a quarterbacks camp.
Oh, I got you.
And then basically the offense came in town. That's what that was. And then they had another mini camp for like a weekend.
Right.
And that's where the team got back together. There was no pads, but you were basically doing some conditioning, running some plays, 7-on-7s.
Right.
And then you were gone until training camp reported. So you reported to your dorm. That's what happened.
Exactly. And I think it's going to get even. It's going to be more than that because you got to figure. Yeah. You got part of the deal. One of the deals is, and I can't speak on this because it's been spoken publicly about, just about the OTAs and how much more we do in the offseason.
Yeah.
So this offseason, with being home as much as we've been, it's going to be similar to that. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of things are not mandatory. Now, don't get me wrong.
No, I understand.
You're going to have some things that are voluntary, and you're going to get a whole lot of rookies and some young guys is going to be there. But for the most part, the veterans just not going to, it's not going to take that chance. And
well, your team alone has 20-something people over 30,
and it's great. It's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful, man.
So you can use that as ammo as to why you don't need to be there.
Because you still come in and get together, team, play well, produce as a team, and it's good. I'm gonna be real with you right here on the journey.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
This lockout, it's been a catch-22. In other words.
Oh, I know.
In other words, what
I see over there.
Yeah, there you go. you see them kids over there, that Brad and them kids over there. Mm-hmm. It's been great.
And see,
spending that time, man. Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable.
I'm glad you're saying it because it needs to be said. For this is what I think the fans are a little disconnected to this whole scenario.
Right. Okay.
They think, these guys make all this money. What are they complaining for? But nobody said that you can't make money and still have a family life.
Exactly.
Well, because there's some people in here right now that could be making the same kind of money you make or make more that are right now with their family.
Exactly. And you got to remember, everybody who's in the league is not making millions.
Oh, believe me, trust me. I tell people right now, you can probably count on the hands on this table.
Exactly.
The millionaires in the Redskins locker room.
That's how it's. You do not have 52 guys making $1 million. It just don't work like that.
You might have
10%
of that.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to kind of, man. That's just.
Yeah. No, trust me, I understand.
This thing has been great.
But I mean, when you were here, it was a little different, though.
Huh?
When you were here, it was a little different, though.
Yeah, it was a little different.
It was a lot of guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of guys. A lot of guys making some change. Cha-ching.
You can't be mad at Snyder for that.
No, and that's the thing. I mean,
he's trying to win.
Snyder, I mean, he has every intention on trying to win. I mean, listen to me, fans. It's not as if this man is just, wants to spend money just to spend money.
Here you go, Antwaan. Take this money and lose.
He wants to exactly. That's not the idea.
That's not what he's saying.
The man wants to win. He wants to do all he can to win. And now, I mean, again, he was in the right direction. Gibb was there. Zorn didn't really have that same opportunity.
You guys were there. You had Seattle beat the playoffs too, by the way.
Exactly.
So,
moving up and down the field. That's what I'm saying. And then you look now. He got Shanahan and he got Bruce. Things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. People say, "Oh, they're going to get a whole lot worse for they get better." Things are going to get better, and you'll see it over time. It's just give it a little time.
Let me ask you this, because we talked about this earlier.
Right.
Numbers game in Pittsburgh. You know the business. It could be a situation where you get caught in the numbers game.
There you go. Yep.
And they want to make a total youth movement. You live here.
Right.
Would you be receptive and open to maybe coming back here if they need some veteran leadership?
If I have an opportunity
I'm
to
serious.
play football, I'm going to play football.
Doesn't matter where it is.
Man, let me tell you something, man.
I like that
If
answer.
I can still go, I'm going.
You're going to go.
I ain't trying to, and again, it goes back to.
So you want to do a Steve Francis? Get mad because you got drafted by Vancouver.
No, man, you got it. No. See, I made it in my mind very early on. I wanted to play pro ball and something. I got drafted to play baseball, and mom and dad, it made me go to school. I didn't talk to them for about 3 months. But
man, you could have been. Ooh, my God.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother deal. But God had a plan for my life.
Of course.
I know I'm supposed to be right where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And want to still keep playing this game of football. I mean, I'm a Steeler. Don't get me wrong. I even had the opportunity. When I was going through the free agent process, could have went to Indianapolis, playing in Indy, right up the street. From where I played college ball, and in Bloomington, Indiana. Had a lot of opportunity, but going back to Pittsburgh was like home. It was good. Had some great history there, and want to keep going with having great history. But I'm never opposed to coming back, man. No, I mean, and again, if it came down to that, I ain't trying to get caught in numbers game. I'm trying to.
I'll promote it for you.
Hey, I hear you,
because I keep telling us as media that they may want to bring in an established, experienced guy and somebody that they don't think is going to come in and demand 50 passes thrown his way every game.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. That when you get guys like that, I want the ball. Feed me.
You can't have that.
You get to the point where if I'm a quarterback and you stay in my ear like that,
you were a quarterback,
right? I would simply tell you, shut up.
You're gonna get me killed looking for you.
Exactly. I'm gonna play the game the way I see the game. If you open, I'm gonna throw you the ball. Because if you saying me, give me the ball, you got 2 or 3 people guarding you. The other team knows if you one of the top guys in the league. So, I mean, that means these other guys can get the ball, still make the plays or whatever. And when we need that big shot, you better be ready to go.
I got a question for you before we go to break.
All right.
This is something that just kind of weighed on my mind for a long time here.
Right.
And you're the only person that can answer this. This isn't to stir the pot or create anything. But I specifically remember your coach, just tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Yes. Your coach at Indiana was Cam Cameron.
There you go.
All right. Cam Cameron came to the Redskins and was quarterback's coach.
Right.
Okay. If I don't recall, well, I do recall. If I do recall, your senior year, they moved you to wideout.
Move me to wideout.
And the quarterback, that's where I'm drawing the blank.
Tommy Jones.
What in the world was Tommy Jones doing quarterback in Indiana? That's all I wanted to know.
Well,
did you ask to move to wideout because that's what you thought you were going to play?
I did not.
Okay. I needed that cleared up.
I did not ask to be moved. But we were figuring, okay, this is a way to shake it up, see if we can put me out the wide out, get Tommy a shot, that type thing, see what we can do. And don't get me wrong.
He was decent. He put up numbers.
We go up and play North Carolina State. We go play North Carolina State. And I tell Tommy, I say, look here, Tommy. I got this corner on me. Look, I'm going to blow bound. We got a little run pass check. If they got 8 in the box, single high man, throw the deep ball to me. I shook the guy at the line so bad, he had the run play on. I'm wide open. That was it. After that game started going downhill after that. And then I caught the ball and got drilled by Torrey Holt, little brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm talking about got up and my knee went out in front of me. I'm wobbling and everything. Cam Cameron went back to the press conference the next day. And the question was, will Antwaan go back to quarterback? Before they even got it out, he was just like, have you ever seen any a more obvious decision in putting me back? And that was over with.
See, I'm going to say it.
And Cam did a little something for me.
But he did, but I've got to say it. Haven't seen him in training camp, the Ravens, last year. Good friend of mine plays running back for the Ravens, Ron McClain. A sledgehammer.
Yes, he is.
Made the Pro Bowl as a tailback, and then the next year as a fullback. But then they picked up Ray Rice, who's nice.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. But then they went out and got Willis McGahee. And the grumblings, and I'm not saying I was told this, but let me just say the grumblings are my guy wants more touches. But Cam Cameron, he's the coordinator.
You're going to put it up.
And I'm going to say this. This is like, see, that's why we say, God put us here for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this needs to be asked. When you're watching your team go down last year in the playoffs to the Ravens, they were running the football, weren't they? Playing defense.
My team?
You were Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, we was beating them.
No. You went down in that playoff game first. You were down.
Oh, yeah.
You were down like 21-7.
We were getting it.
So my question is, your former coach in college decided in the second half he wanted to throw the football against the Steelers in Pittsburgh, and it started snowing.
Okay.
And it's cold.
Okay. But I got to give you I got to give you this now.
Okay.
The fumble that occurred.
Yeah, well, that was in their own territory.
He was running.
Well,
it was a run play.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And he got tattooed. Ball recover.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And that's it. So after them 2 turtles we scored, now you back in. You need to.
They were in no man's land at that point anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it can't be that. Cam should have kept pounding the ball, because now you do that all in the first half. That's what we're expecting.
You got to game plan for that at halftime.
Exactly. So now how are we gonna stop this run? We got to stop this, and then you come out and.
Were you surprised they were passing as much? How about that in the second half?
I was not surprised they were passing as much. I was surprised at. It just seemed like Flacco wasn't. It wasn't right or something. I don't know.
Maybe it was a little rattled.
That's what maybe I think. I don't know if that was it.
I know you wouldn't say that, but let me say it.
Yeah.
He was probably rattled.
So it's. I just don't know. I don't know if it was. It was. But it was.
That was a great comeback.
But you know what? It was good for us. It was good for
that
the
was
Pittsburgh
a great
Steelers.
Comeback.
It was a good comeback.
You guys never had like a halftime. I mean, can you share some of the comments at halftime? I mean, it's family radio, but
minutes.
Can you? Yeah.
That's it. We got 30 minutes to win the ball game. That was it.
You weren't worried or
no, you wasn't.
Wow.
You don't.
Wow.
You got to remember, and we turned the ball over twice. We turned the ball over twice
in that comeback.
I'm talking about in the first half.
Oh no, you basically made the game
That's
easy
what
for
I'm
them.
saying. And
Yeah.
then we came back and our defense took the ball away.
Three
times.
times.
We scored off of them. So it was like 21. Was it 21-0?
It was 21-7. You scored first, and then they scored 21 in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we came back. Yeah. And then we went boom, 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 boom. And that's. I mean, our defense came back and got it done. It wasn't.
I thought you guys were in trouble. I'm not gonna lie. When they went up 21-7 and said this game is a wrap, and
No,
guess what? Guess what? My wife and me left. Yeah, I never leave. I never leave during the game if I'm not there. If I'm home, I'm gonna watch it. But we had to run up to the store real quick, and I said I'll just get something so I can watch the second game. And yeah, it was like, what in the world happened?
Yeah, man. So that's. You don't give up on us, man. Nah.
Interesting to say the least.
I've been part of a lot of comebacks, man. I mean, we came back in Cleveland my rookie year, We were losing to Cleveland in Pittsburgh.
What was the score?
We were getting beat by, I don't know, we were down 20-3 or something at halftime.
That wasn't a playoff game.
That was the first. That was the playoff.
Oh, that was Kelly Stolford.
That was
the Coach Stolford.
Bruce Aaron was the offensive coordinator at Cleveland.
Yeah,
at the time.
but the quarterback I think was it
Holcomb.
Kelly Holcomb.
Kelly Holcomb. That's who he was.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
and he was spitting that thing out.
It was
and they had a chance to, kill us, put us down.
Yeah, I do remember that game.
Dennis Northcutt ran an out cut. It was 3rd and 10. He ran a 15-yard route and dropped the ball. I mean, it was over with. That was game. It was over with.
Somebody should have told him, you just cost y'all.
it would have been done, game over with. And
I remember
that would have been a wrap.
Because people were looking at Cleveland like they were a young team. They were going to turn the corner, and that quarterback was gone after that.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Well, Bruce left. I think he stayed. I think he left too. I think after that.
Okay, interesting.
But that was it. And then Bruce next year came over to be our wide receivers coach. I think.
Yeah. So he took all that stuff with him.
So it was, man. He, So that was one comeback. And then we ended up losing Tennessee that year. That was crazy. I've been part of a lot of comebacks. I can't remember all right now. But that one stuck in my mind, of course.
Good
I made a punt return for a touchdown in the playoffs. That was great, too.
What's the record against Penn State?
My record?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just asking.
I mean, we were talking about the professional sport. We were not talking about the amateur sport, and you went and pulled it up. We went to Penn State.
You almost got us, though. You almost got us. I think it was 99.
At
State College, yes. You almost got us.
They call it holding on the goal line.
I was going to say, they call it.
Jeremy Johnson, he just blocked the guy so bad, he just buried him. They don't call holding.
I was going to see if you remember that.
I remember it all.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of a home call
Penn
right
State
there.
on the ropes. But that's all right.
Yeah.
And
if I'm not mistaken, I think Cam Cameron didn't shake his hand. He didn't shake Joe's hand after that. It was something.
He probably didn't.
He ran straight past him.
But you know what? I think Joe came to our locker room and spoke to us.
Oh, he did?
He did.
See, I never knew that.
He came to my locker room.
What did he say?
He was just encouraging and, saying how we played a good game and, how to put up a good fight and all that stuff. I mean, I was right at the
You didn't want to hear that.
I was fresh out the game. I didn't want to talk to Joe. I'm just going to be honest with you. I did not want to talk to Coach
Get him
Paterno.
out this locker room.
I'm sitting there looking around like, Coach, I know you know this guy and all that, but we just lost, man. I don't want to talk to him.
Come on, man. That's the man right there.
I know, but you got to remember, you come off the field,
I know,
you barely want to talk to reporters.
You don't want to talk to your own,
let alone
your family.
Opponents,
your parents come in. You don't even want to talk to them.
And then after I got my cool under me, I was good. I called him before he went out the door, said what's up to him, talk to him for a couple minutes.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure.
Because,
initially,
that ain't,
you want a Nittany Lions show. We got to always show homage.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, he's a good dude. Well, look, let's take a break. You know what? Are you comfortable taking us out as far as some of the players? Let me take us out, man. Let me go ahead and take us out. So, just little background music for you. All you got to do is just say where we are, Vintage 50.
Well, we are at Vintage 50, having a good time. I'm on with Lake. Of course, I'm subbing in for Chris Dubb. That is Chris Wilson. I am Antwaan Randle. And stay tuned for more on The Journey.
This is not a workout. This is a revolution. This is shake weight for men, and it's going to kick your butt.
That's it.
In just 6 minutes. Guaranteed. Ordinary weights isolate one muscle in one direction, but shake weight harnesses the power of dynamic inertia to totally redefine strength training. As you shake, the weights at each end fire and recoil rapidly. This piston-like motion sends a shockwave of energy that forces your muscles to contract as many as 240 times a minute. So you build definition, size, and strength fast. And now this technological breakthrough in strength training can be yours for just $29.95. Shake weight is science fact, not fiction. A leading biomechanics research center proved that 6 minutes with the shake weight burns as much muscle energy as 42 with a standard dumbbell. You get ripped, defined, and stronger, fast, guaranteed. Call and order now, and we'll also send you this 6-minute upper body workout DVD. It's everything you need to add size, definition, and strengthen your chest, triceps, biceps, and shoulders. Technology is all about packing mega performance in less space, right? Shake Weight proves it. That's why it comes with this ironclad kick butt guarantee. Do the Shake Weight workout just once. If your arms, chest, and shoulders aren't on fire in just 6 minutes, return it for a 100% refund. We'll even pay return shipping.
Whew, that's it.
3 exercises, 6 minutes, and the faster you shake, the more intense and challenging your workout. Think you can handle it? Then call now and build muscle and definition in just 6 minutes a day with Shake Weight for Men.
If you want to shed fat and get a body that's shredded, then it's time to get on the rack. The Rack is a complete total body workout system, and it's the hardcore hardware that adds a whole new dimension of variety and intensity to traditional body weight exercises. You get explosive chest, shoulders, and back, big arm blast, and ripped abs on the rack, a fat shredder workout, and a total body muscle building express workout, totally ripped on the rack. Order now and get this special Get Ripped on the Rack 30-day trial for just $14.99. When you order, also ask how you can get the Rack system shipped right to your door for free. As an added bonus, you'll get the Rack Nutritional Guide, custom workout guide, and special Bartender's Workout DVD, plus shipping. That's a total value of $60, all for free, but only if you order right now. Call now and order the Rack Total Body Workout System for this special 30-day trial of just $14.99.
Dear Bowflex, I dropped 8 dress sizes, 36 pounds, and all I had to do was walk.
This is the Bowflex Tread Climber Machine, the easiest way to walk and burn up to twice the calories in less time. By combining the motion of a treadmill, a stepper, and an elliptical, you get the calorie-burning benefits of all 3 workouts at once.
I lost 30 pounds in 4 months. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Call now for your free DVD and information kit. You'll see how the Tread Climber burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill. Plus, you'll learn how you can own a Tread Climber machine today with special financing for 18 months.
Within the first couple of weeks, I started to lose inches. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months using the Tread Climber.
Call or go online to buytc.com for your free info kit. We'll also send you the Bowflex Insider's Guide with a personal fitness assessment to help you jumpstart your Bowflex body today, absolutely free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bowflex.
Sincerely, J.D. Weber.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Antwaan Randle, L., who still lives here in the Northern Virginia area from his Washington Redskin playing days. And now we're going to also bring in a new member to the Sports Journey Broadcast Network family, Mr. Jarman Gant. What's going on, Jarman?
I'm doing pretty good, Lake. How are you all doing today?
We're happy to have you out here. You know, you've been showing a lot of support for us, and you have your show coming up on the weekend, the Sideline Haters. So my question to you is, if you had a guy like Antwaan on your show, what would be some of the questions?
One of the questions that we had in the chat box from our fan, Brian Lime, was, Antwaan, do you feel that the Redskins totally utilized your wide receiver capability while you were here in Washington?
I think they I think the first 2 years they did. And when I say they did, we had so much more that they wanted to do when Al Saunders came in with Coach Gibbs. That was a big deal with me coming here. They wanted to utilize me more, and we kind of got going with some of that. Actually, threw 2 touchdown passes when we were here during that time. But even like some of the slot work we had was pretty good that we got going with. So it was good those first 2 years when Jim Zorn came in. It was a little different because it was a West Coast offense for the most part. Some of the run game stuff was different, so we had to try to do some stuff off the run game. So I wouldn't utilize as much in the second in the next 2 years. The first 2 years was pretty good, but the second 2 years wasn't as good as I would have liked.
Now, in special teams, we know you're a special teams monster here in Washington. What do you attribute Washington's special teams struggling for the past 7-8 years to be?
I wouldn't. It ain't 7-8 years now. It ain't been that long. I mean, because you got to think now. When we had the crew, and I'm talking about the crew, when you had Kerry Campbell, you had Rock Cartwright, you had JT, you had James Thrash,
a monster too. He was a monster.
He was a monster. Who else we had on there? We had 2 solid. I remember we had 2 solid years.
Mm-hmm.
That was Danny Smith. I mean, at one point we were one on kickoff and all that in terms of keeping. Yeah, we had a couple of solid years. The 6-7, I ain't, I don't know what
Joe Horn too for a little bit, didn't you? Was Joe Horn here?
No, I don't think Joe Horn.
No,
before?
not Joe.
That was before.
That must have been before.
Okay. Yeah, because I think he came from New Orleans for like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah,
it
that was
always
before
like
I
a
got
stopgap for some guys.
And then, we had who was the other core? We had Vernon Fox, who's real good, who was here during that time.
Yeah, Vernon was nice.
I'm trying to think. We had some other guys that made up that crew. One year we had Adi Jamo. Adi held it down too.
People used to look at him as like sometimes he would get beat deep
on the corner. We talk about special teams.
Yeah,
We talk about special teams. And I mean, and that guy,
and of course
right
Mike Sellers, who's still here.
There we go.
Who's still here?
That's the other glue. I just forgot about Big Mike Sellers
Lorenzo,
in the middle.
still here.
That's right. See, yeah.
Chris Wilson, still here.
And see, Zoe came, I think, my second year here. Second or third year. I'm real close to those guys. Those are my buddies here in Washington. We get together, share the word, and everything. So we had a crew. So, I mean, we had a couple of years that was good. We had a couple of years that was just like, what is going on? But those years, what was going on was that we just couldn't. You got to have a niche every year. And that one year we just didn't. That 1 year I would say, because the first year was on, it was pretty good. Matter of fact, that's what kept us going. That first 8, we ended up being 6-2 in the first 8 games. That was pretty good. It was one of the things that kept us going. We had great field position in a return game. We had great field position in terms of kickoff and covering. That last year wasn't good, and I don't know how the last 2 years have been. So I'm not sure exactly, 6 or 7 years. But it's been some years that, and again, you wanted to pick up, you wanted to be more than what it is in terms of special teams, because special teams can really make a difference in the ball game. So, I mean, you just got to expect it. I mean, if it comes, it comes. It doesn't, it doesn't. But you hope it shows up for you.
What do you think the culture, how you would describe the change of culture from Washington to Pittsburgh in the front office, let's say? What are some of the big differences that you see from there that you saw from here?
I've been trying to stay away from it, but here's it's just the way I think, and I think Mike and I think Bruce are going about it a little different. I think things was pretty good, and when I say pretty good, I go back to Coach Gibbs. Coach Gibbs was in control of that thing. Things was pretty good. When Zorn came in, I always tell people he didn't have the same control as Coach Gibbs did. So it wasn't. Yeah, it was just different.
It's hard to.
And I don't know if it was. Yeah, I can't say it was Dan. I can't say it was Vinny. You can't put a finger on it. But I know when Coach Gibbs was here, you knew Coach Gibbs ran it, and if anything went wrong, hey, put it on Coach Gibbs. Most things was going good anyway, so he really had nothing to put on.
But
so
he took that and through all the bad times too.
That's what I'm saying.
Just unbelievably
right, and he wasn't no
character.
Right,
wow,
exactly. And the same thing over in Pittsburgh, you always have basically one guy. Bill Cowher was running it. Mike Tomlin's running it now. I don't know how much if he has the same leeway as Bill Cowher did, but I know Kevin Colbert and them guys. They have a crew where. It comes down, you could be the best guy. You could be the best guy on the board. But if your off the field life ain't in order, they ain't going to really take a chance on you.
So you truly believe that, well, I hate, let me do that. That's not good radio.
And wait a minute.
That's not good radio, by the way.
Okay, my bad.
No, I was just going to say you don't pose a question with already
an
answer.
I got you.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. My question is, the whole situation with Big Ben.
Right.
Do you feel like the Steelers handled that a little differently from – I mean, I know you just played here, but for maybe people you know around the league, there were a lot of people that thought that Ben should have been suspended or cut or traded. It seems to me like he's got everything back, in order. Do you think that was because the Steelers handled it a little differently?
Let's deal with that. Now, the boy was suspended 4 games. That's enough.
And that's what the punishment, sir, required.
And that was for speculation because we don't know what went on.
No, I agree.
That was speculation. Wasn't charged with nothing. No, I mean, didn't go to jail. How do you suspend a guy and there's nothing?
No. I mean, I'm liking this because
so that's what I'm saying. And the Steelers they were going to do something regardless. If the league didn't do nothing, they were going to do something because it's just who they are.
It's a poor reflection on them.
That's just who they are. This
is good stuff. This
they
is
don't
real
want
good
that
stuff.
reflection on their on the organization, and quite frankly, you just can't keep doing it, or you'll be out of there.
Exactly.
Prime example with what's my guy? MVP of Super Bowl, number 10. Play with the Jets now. Come on, help me out.
MVP of the Super Bowl. Santonio Holmes. Oh yeah.
He had some issues, and not. It ain't secret. He had some issues, and the Steelers dealt with it the way they want, and they deal with it as if to say, we don't need you. I think they got a 5th round for him.
Well, I was just about to say they got something for him, but Ben's the quarterback.
Okay,
and they just gave him $100 million.
Okay,
so you need to make sure your investment is up to par.
Right,
and I'm a firm believer.
But my point is, he can't keep. He ain't gonna be able to keep doing that.
Oh no, I don't think. I want not one more time.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I'm sure. I mean, it's been talked about, but and again, we still go back to he wasn't arrested, he wasn't charged with nothing. So in other words, you can go to whatever. I'm gonna say you, but anybody can go to the club or go to the college campus and be hanging out, and somebody just say
that you did something. Yeah,
because that's what it came down to.
He was guilty of poor judgment.
Exactly.
But poor judgment, the last time I looked, doesn't require you to go to jail.
It don't require you to go to jail. It don't require you to charge with nothing.
Because there's a lot of people here tonight might have some poor judgment on how they're getting home.
And again, exactly. That's my point. And you don't know, we don't know, nobody knows but him and that young lady. So it becomes down to that whole he say, she say. And if anything did occur, we still in the same boat. It's not as if.
Okay, well, I got
I
got something for both of you now.
Okay, I'm ready. Because now I'm a pilot's lit.
Oh, no, this is good. Yeah, my pilot's lit.
Suspended my homeboy for 4 games. We made do 3-1. Don't get me wrong. And we don't know if he did nothing or not.
Right, but see,
and if he did, young lady, I'm sorry.
Okay,
but we don't know if he did nothing or not.
This is about a legal case, but it's not about athletes.
Okay,
I want to get opinions here because you're a father. See, I'm pointing right. See in the camera. Jarman's a father. He has a little girl. I have a father. I have a father. Yeah, I do. I'm a father. I have a little girl who's probably tearing this place up somewhere. And you're a father, and you have little girls.
Yeah.
Okay. We're stepping out the boundaries here. This is what we do on Sports Journey from time to time.
I like it.
Casey Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's upset. People saying she should have gone to jail, blah, blah, blah. But I told my wife, who was watching this stuff like every second, I'm like, baby, my goodness. I said this. If you have any unreasonable doubt, the person can't go to jail.
They were messed up. That defense lawyer, he had them prosecutors in a bind.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just say that to get that out there. But the other thing is, if you just can't, she's not on trial for going out and partying, even though she knew her daughter was
it looked
missing.
bad, right?
It looked bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have no proof, as a jury, you can't. For one, you're not gonna lie. You can't live with that.
No.
You don't have any proof. Now, do I think she may have had something to do with it?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I mean, we go back.
Did I say she did it? No.
I can't
but
say
does
that.
she know? It's like the OJ thing.
Right.
Do they know what's going
you
on?
had to know
yeah,
something.
somebody knew something that was happening.
Your child, my child. I got 5. If one of my child,
I saw you just now when your son went to the car.
Where
my
son went.
Where
you
going?
And then he was gone too long. I took a pause and went and found out where he was.
Yeah, I called my wife because she went to the store across the street. Where'd you go?
Exactly. You're gonna find out.
Exactly.
So she had to know something. Let's
31 days.
Come on now. You know what's going on.
You know where your child is in 31 minutes.
I know my child is in 31 seconds.
There you go.
Exactly.
Because the whole show we like this. Looking over there.
Yeah, we both did.
Looking up, still looking back over there.
You know, sometimes you have to put the mic down. Excuse me, folks. We'll be right back.
And we're doing that. And our wives are here.
Yes.
Just as so you would have you know exactly what's going down. You know what's going on. She knew something.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, but did it require her to go to jail? If
Not
I was
for murder,
if I was a
you
juror,
don't know.
Exactly. I mean, and she'll be out on Wednesday. The thing that I don't like about the whole
She's
scenario
gonna be out on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh, I thought she wasn't guilty for nothing. They didn't find her guilty.
She was
for nothing.
acquitted. She was only guilty for lying to the cops, and they gave her the maximum 4 years for lying to the cops. But because she's already served 3.5, and with good time on top of that, they added it up, which makes she's eligible to walk out prison on Wednesday and assume her life. And people are now saying she's going to get book deals and movie deals. And so
monkey.
Reality TV.
All I say I'll say this. The guy upstairs takes care of everything.
Yes, because
that's all I'm saying.
He see it all. He see it all. And she might end up like OJ and be back in jail anyway.
Exactly.
This could be OJ in reverse. This could be OJ in reverse
Exactly.
with her going right back.
Exactly.
This is I
you
mean,
ain't getting away with that.
It's sad.
If you had some,
there's some people out there that will try to take matters in their own hands too.
And that's the thing. She need to get security.
I think she will have security.
Because that ain't it's different. Okay, OJ did a little something. We don't know what he did.
He said a little something.
I mean, when I say a little something, because we don't know. We just don't know.
Right.
That happened with the young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the young man or whatever. But here's the deal. People ain't really not gonna come at you like they're gonna come at you when you involved with a little child.
I agree.
When a little child is involved, people are upset with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different. It ain't just.
That might be why she didn't go to prison.
Because.
Yeah, I mean, in prison, it would have been taken care of. Yeah, it would have been taken care of.
Yeah, that ain't – people don't like that.
But you know what? In fairness to what you just said, Jarman, you said she wouldn't be safe from anyone. She thinks she is. But I'm telling you right now, like I said, upstairs.
It don't work like that.
No. You may have fooled me or fooled the jurors or fooled somebody. But somebody knows, and it's somebody you're going to have to deal with.
And that whole
you're going to have to deal with them.
That whole idea.
Can't get away from that.
Everything done in the dark is going to come to light. Sorry, Miss Anthony. It's going.
You know, when you said that, the life from the from the camcorder was just right there. Wow.
Yeah, you don't think you're getting away with it.
Nah, see, this stuff we talk about. You know, we mix it up here on the show.
They call it now they call it we chop it up. That's what they call it. Chopping it up. That's a new thing. We're chopping it up.
We chopping it up.
Well, what you got?
I got another one for you. With Plexico Burress being released last month.
That's another one, but we'll talk about it in a second. Keep going.
Exactly. Do you think he's lost anything by being gone for a year and a half? I personally don't, but being this is your realm, what do you think?
Good, fair question.
I don't know. Well, I don't know about the skill. You're not going to lose your skill. Mm-hmm. And if he's had a chance to run, work out, do some things, he probably have kept the speed and that kind of thing up. So
not football shape though.
Huh?
Not football shape.
Well, you're not getting football shape unless you're playing.
Exactly.
I mean, you can train as hard as you want, and we do it every offseason. It's different when you hit the field. And you're getting tackled and that stuff like that. So you're only going to get football shape when you're actually involved in the game. Okay. So that'll come back. I mean, that's going to come back, period, just because he's played it for so long. He's been doing it since he was a shorty, and, of course, he did it on a professional level. I don't know if he's going to lose a whole lot. But now going to the other thing.
I knew you were going to bring it up. Shot himself in the leg.
You go to jail.
For shooting yourself.
That's enough penalty alone.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably shouldn't have had the gun, but you shouldn't go to jail.
Different laws in different areas.
I totally understand that. Manhattan got the law. You can't have guns at all.
He broke the law. But
broke the law.
But the issue with this is, we're going back to the Casey Anthony thing.
Right.
The thing that I came away with from this that makes me angry. See, first of all, I'll say this. I have, not to sound, ignorant to the scenario, because unfortunately there's a young girl that lost her life, and that's what we're not talking about, who did it. Mm-hmm. But being a father, being a husband, I have enough on my plate to get caught up with a lot of stuff. I mean, that's just me. But having said that, when that verdict came out, I did tweet, Michael Vick, ? Plaxico Burress, ? Casey Anthony, free.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
And I will say this. Michael Vick, what he did was wrong.
No question.
But as a dog owner, having had dogs my whole life, they're not humans. I mean, they're not humans.
Well, okay, it's
I'm just saying.
The dog, okay, dogs are not human. And I got dogs, and I actually had me pit bull in college. I mean, in college. Mm-hmm. I think the way, I don't know where it went about. Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm. I think it was Because if it was the guy working for Budweiser driving the truck, it would not have been. It wouldn't be like that.
No,
That's just.
I know it wouldn't.
If it was, I mean, don't get me wrong. People from the humane side get really upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, it's somebody that work with that same company been doing some of the same stuff.
Yeah, listen.
And that's what. And I'm not dogging anybody.
It is what it is.
It's going on, and because it was Michael Vick, is the only reason it was off the charts. Somebody shoot themselves in the leg. The only reason it was off the chart because a place go birth. Nobody else would have been going to jail.
That's what I'm saying, because I'll tell you right now.
You just wouldn't have.
My father lives in rural central, and I always have a problem saying it, rural North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Retired from here, down there. And when that whole thing happened, my father laughed. Not at the scenario, the dogs. Right. He laughed and he said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "I'm sitting here, and there are trucks driving by with dogs in the back."
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's prevalent. You're from down there.
And not only dogs, chickens.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
Let's talk about the chicken fight.
Hey, came from Florida. That is big.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
That's big.
Only because
I've never seen one on any side. Never want to see one. But all I'm saying is, okay, if you're telling me that he went to prison because he lied to the federal government, that's
one thing.
Understandable,
right? Yeah.
But you had already pretty much given him his sentence before all that.
Exactly.
This girl has a chance to come out of prison Wednesday and make millions to sell a book. Why couldn't the judge say, for 5 years, you're not eligible to make any benefit to make any profit off of this tragedy?
And they could have put a hush order on her.
Could they?
But they didn't.
See, man,
I came from Orlando. That's bad.
That's bad business right there. And see that? Yeah,
that's horrible.
Yep.
They did it to OJ. He couldn't write that book for years.
That little computer went down. So if we could just see what's in the chat box, anybody firing away.
I know somebody chatting.
Yeah, I know they're upset.
Chatting about the storm. Let's see what happens here. Jeff Little was talking about Santonio Holmes.
Jeff Little coming up in about 10 minutes right here on Sports Journey Broadcast Network, the locker room live from Los Angeles. So what did he say about Santonio Holmes?
He just mentioned Santonio Holmes, and we have Zoe killed that boy from Philly. I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah, that means the guy from the running back from Philly, special teams guy, was returning the kickoffs. I was there. Lorenzo blew him up. I mean, just ran right through him. And you could hear it sound like a firecracker.
I'm thinking about killing.
No.
We on the same wave. Yeah, he was talking about murder. I thought we was.
No, I think that's where the pun was.
Oh, okay.
But that's not good. That's a little tasteless.
My bad.
No. He's been on the field.
Yeah, I know. I got it now. Yeah, it took me a minute.
We were on murder.
Yeah, we were on murder and Casey Anthony and all that.
Now speaking of murder, somebody did mention in the chat box, and this is kind of personal to me. I took offense to it when the Patriots beat Washington 50 a lot to a little. We're not even going to name the score. A lot
51.
To a little. No, we're not going to.
It was off the charts.
It was a lot to a little. They wondered what the feel in the locker room was after that game. I know how I felt. I turned the TV off.
You wanted to get that out of your mind as quick as possible.
I turned the TV off, and I went to IKEA. Now, did I need to go to IKEA? No.
But you had to do something.
I had to do something.
Look at some furniture.
Can you imagine? See, that's what I'm saying. That man, that ain't supposed to happen. Yeah, can you get that? Man, listen. That's when those games like that just make you want to put your pads up and don't even bring them out. But then you think about it,
and they weren't that good that game. It was a lot of turnovers. By the way.
we would
self-destruct mode from. Did you think guys went in there thinking they were going to lose?
Here was one of the deals.
Okay.
They were at the time the number one, if you can remember, defense in stopping the run.
Yeah. And that's what you guys were.
And we came
one of the top teams doing.
We came in, but we came in. The idea they were ranked in the late 20s in the passing game. We came in and tried to pound the ball. We should have been putting that ball in the air, and we didn't put it in the air. If you can remember, when we did put it in the air, we went up and down the field, And then we end up scoring a late touchdown, those type things.
Chris Cooley, yeah.
But it would.
See, that's where I thought the Al Saunders experiment was
done.
It was just.
But see, Al didn't have full control of that though.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, Coach Gears ran that. That was.
And Coach Gears wanted to run the football.
We got going with some of the things we did from Al Saunders, but it was never as wide open as Al Saunders wanted it to be.
You think it would have been a difference?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Because, I mean, when he came from Kansas City, they were doing some dynamic things.
And they were still
running
top
the football.
They were top 5 in running the football.
Yeah, very good point.
Top 5 running the football, and they were right in the top and passing the ball. So it wasn't as if they,
Larry was here last year.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah, LJ. Yeah.
No, until week 3 of preseason.
Yeah, that was weird. They brought in 3 of them guys. They had
Willie Barker, your former teammate.
Yeah. They had. That was weird.
And none of them. I mean, I remember talking to Larry in the locker room, and I'm like, man,
which one? LP or LJ?
Oh, LJ.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you got Clinton here, you got Willie, and you think
I
about it.
Came.
I'm done.
And then Willie came after them
what
too.
Are you
I'm
doing?
Like, why would you even come there? Willie Parker shouldn't have left Pittsburgh. No way, though.
No, and that's what I said too.
He
know
he made a mistake.
You're doing all of this stuff with. I mean, you could make an argument from productivity, from seasons played, that Larry Johnson has Hall of Fame numbers. Obviously, not the duration of the career, but the guy didn't even make it to the regular season.
That's
and
crazy.
I know he had a bad preseason game. He ran backwards on one play, trying to make extra yards.
And that was the
but
the
come
nail in the
on,
coffin
yeah,
there.
it was literally, you knew, even in the press box, we were like, he's done. And sure enough, you could tell in the locker room after the game, he knew. But once again, you don't bring a guy in like that to cut him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
But as an agent, I'm not even letting him. I mean.
Is that Drew's?
I don't know who it is.
I don't know if that's
But
Drew.
Willie Parker, if that was my agent, ain't no way I'm coming here.
No way.
To compete.
No way. You weren't competing.
That's what I'm saying.
You
It's
weren't
not
given
even
a chance to compete.
You're not going to have the same opportunity as everybody else. You're not going to have the same opportunity.
And I'm sure that probably was mentioned after the fact. You should have told me that beforehand.
Right.
That's what I'm asking you. If let's just say you're not in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Which, by the way, I think you will be. I think you'll surprise some folks.
Yes, indeed. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's coming.
By the way, before I ask your question, how's the knee doing?
The knee is coming along well. I did some routes and some running. Gave me a little swelling, but nothing that was unusual. So I'm back in the game. I'm good. I'm getting up with Byron Leftwich this week. We're going to get together and throw.
Were you, as far as the surgery, the timing of it, everybody talks about, okay, you did it before the lockout. I mean, you did it after the lockout. You did it after the lockout. Some people were saying because of the insurance situation, why not have done it before? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter from a standpoint of, if it's going to be a lockout, it's going to be a lockout.
Sure.
I heard mine training.
Okay.
So it was after anyway. I had to get it done. It wasn't like
So it wasn't something after the season you just hobbled along until.
No, it wasn't like that. No, I didn't.
Okay.
This happened after the lockout, after the Super Bowl. I was cool. I was working out and came down wrong. It was like, oops, something ain't right. And it kept swelling up on me, so I went to see my doc. Yeah, you got a little cartilage floating around there. Something ain't right. We got to go and check it out. So they went in, scoped, and cleaned it up. But that's the other thing that's crazy about the lockout. You pay your own insurance, man.
Oh, my God.
And when you got 5
you got kids, man. I was going to say.
You pay insurance for 7 people? Yeah, it's a monster. And that's why you have a JOB, so you can have a little health insurance. So,
go and
get this deal done.
Save your money. Let me ask both of you guys here. I mean, this is good stuff here, folks. Jarman Gann, our new weekend show host from the Sideline Haters. You definitely got to check that show out. We're real excited about what they're going to bring to the table here at Sports Journey. And then, of course, to my left and your screen, to your right, Mr. Antwaan Randle L. I say former Washington Redskins because we're sitting here literally right around the corner from Redskins Park of a current Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver. One of the things that I definitely want to get opinions from you guys is that Darren Williams, NBA, he's going over to Europe.
Uh-huh.
The NBA, as we talked about earlier, Antwaan, they're going to have a major situation with their lockout.
Right.
As a player, okay, and then, of course, as media, Jarman and myself, but as a player first, do you have a problem with what he's doing?
No, I'm out. I'm gone. And he a young. What is he? 25.
25.
Man, please.
People don't realize that. People saying, "Oh, but he's only getting $5 million over in Turkey." First
Wait a
of
minute,
all,
whoa,
wait. Time out.
The
Only. And the other thing is, only in Turkey, that $5 million is more like 15 here. Oh, by the way, let me say euros. That's more like 25 over there.
Right.
And,
okay.
and everything's given to him. And he gets
from
25
what I
security.
understand, what I understand, you get a house and a car and all that type of stuff too.
Everything's
they take
given
care of
to
that.
you.
Okay.
Tax free.
The other thing is too. Also with that, do you know the jersey sales he's gonna get off? Do you know all that type stuff? Cool. He can create. He can make
incorporate
it. Yeah, I mean he can really take off over there.
And he'll be the Michael Jordan of overseas.
Yeah.
So
$5 million versus zero.
Is anybody else talking about doing it?
Oh yeah, there's
Kobe's
a lot of
talking
guys
about going overseas and playing for China.
Yeah.
Man,
they about to get broke off.
Yeah, that's. I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, because you're sitting here not making money.
You're sitting here not doing anything, and the potential that if there ain't gonna be nothing going on,
and there's a potential that you can get rusty sitting out.
That's the other thing. How do you work on your game?
You can't work on your game when you're not working on your game with fellow professionals.
And just shooting jump shots is not going to help it out. You need to have defenders in your face, active, good competition to keep your skills honed.
Exactly, and I agree. Especially that basketball is very different from any other sport. You can't just sit around and pick up a ball and know I'm going to be good. Now, Lake will tell you that no matter how long the basketball sits in his garage, when he goes to shoot that jump shot, when he goes to put it up,
it's up there just like this.
He said it's going in.
It's so pretty.
He said his jump shot ain't never let him down.
Never.
From 3 feet to 30 feet.
It don't matter. You ask this week when you see Selfish Capers, you ask that young fellow, where were the shots coming from at LA Fitness? They were coming from half court.
Boy, I wish I could get together with you.
Come on, you still be in town?
Yeah, I know, but I
you can just watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch.
Just watch.
I'm gonna have to watch.
I need a cheering section. You can just watch.
And then we're gonna let all y'all know we probably gonna be a Wednesday night.
Oh, I told him just bring the camera and just film that mess. You don't believe
YouTube.
it? It's 1080p on here. You just film the jumpers, and I'm going up court while they still in there.
Have you noticed that we've always talked about basketball when we're on sideline, when we're on Sports Journey? Mm-hmm. No one's ever mentioned softball. Why is that?
Oh, softball. I got a big time friend in softball. He was a state coach of the year in Jersey for Newark Academy, and his wife Fifi was All-American at Michigan. Softball.
Oh, wow.
She's a coach at St. Benedict's up there, and that's their powerhouses. And
that's
my
cool.
wife may have gone and seen those girls. I'm talking about fast pitch.
Yeah.
It's legit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how they do it. They look like it hurt.
A fast pitch softball pitcher, in my opinion, can go toe-to-toe with a fast pitch baseball pitcher. Reason being, the mound is closer, and the ball's coming almost at the same velocity when you subtract the distance.
See, I think those girls have more accuracy.
They do.
I would imagine they do.
Because you coming underhand.
Yeah, and
can you hit a baseball?
Yeah, I can hit a baseball.
Can you hit a softball?
Softball.
Okay, so because Diane already knows where I'm going. Lorenzo and Chris supposedly have the Lorenzo and Chris games.
Oh my goodness! They talk about that so much. They need to go. Did they have them already?
They didn't have it yet.
They need to have that because they talk about.
Can you
I
get
beat
in
you
on
in
that?
this.
Can you get on that?
They don't let me participate.
Oh, see now they got the bowling.
They started talking about
the bowling.
Now bowling.
I'm coming out.
Now bowling we go at it.
So when we do this,
I mean
you and me pay up against them.
Loser got to pay.
Okay,
Loser got to pay for all the bowling.
You and me pay up against both.
I'm up on Zoe, by the way, too.
Okay. Oh,
Chris ain't got a chance against Zoe.
I'm glad to hear that.
You better cut that out.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I got some
Chris
ammo.
can't do nothing with Zoe.
Yeah, we got some ammo. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
But that softball, they don't even let me play. Oh, you was drafted. You can't go. You can't play. That ain't no fair.
And see, being a former baseball player myself,
you got
read
drafted.
up on that. So I'm wondering, could we get a friendly Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington Redskins softball game going on sometime during the lockout?
Man, they ain't got a chance against us, man. We play every year. I don't know if the Skins, but we play. You play every year. We play during training camp.
They could put Limas at not Limas, but West Lions at first base. 6'8" targets. You can't miss them.
No, you can't miss that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Well, look, fellas, it's 9:07, and Jeff Little's waiting in the wings out in Los Angeles, California. He's laid back anyways. He's
Shout
just
out to
chilling.
Jeff. How you
Laid
doing out
back
there, Jeff?
Little.
Jeff Little, in the chat box as well. So we're gonna fire it away for him to come in. Once again, folks, we have a lot of stuff going on here at Sports Journey. We have 5 Redskin player shows coming up this year. 2 New York Jet player shows.
And a potential.
A New York Giant player show. And a Pittsburgh Steeler player show.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff. That's just the NFL. That's not the basketball stuff we have coming up, too. So lots of stuff coming up. And then we have our daily talent. You have myself, 3 to 6. You have Jeff Little's coming on in a second from Los Angeles. 9 to 12, Jeff. Sorry. I know it's 6 to 9 for you out there. And then we have Jarman. We have a fellow former Washington Redskin, Richie Owens, is actually down in Orlando. He'll be on the weekends right before Jarman. Richie's 9 to 11. You're 11 to 1.
11 to 1.
We've got a lot of stuff. Cristiano Oliveira, who's up in New York City, he'll be back on soon, too. So he's over at SiriusXM as well as Sports Journey. So a lot of stuff, folks. And remember, if you can always read the great articles on our website written by credentialed media member with the Redskins, Diane Cheeseborough. Also, Barry Barnes, former Fan House writer. He's covering the Ravens, doing a great job. So lots of good stuff, folks. We hope you appreciated tonight's festivities here, Vintage 50 here in Leesburg, Virginia. As we always say, have a safe night.
Oh, yeah. Have a safe night.
All right, folks.